and my girlfriend just turns and she sees the 2-year-old just chugging a bottle of ketchup. And she's not like the kids. She's not related to him. She's not gonna be like, "What the fuck you doing?" But she just like takes the bottle. She's like, "What are you doing?" The kid's like, mouthful of ketchup, just goes, "I like it."
Doesn't matter. Whatever. This type of food poisoning made me shit for 3 days.
Your whole hockey team watched the OC.
Yeah. Just boys being boys, baby.
So you can hear both of us on the headphones?
Yeah, it sounded fine.
Okay, cool.
It's different without the headphones.
I know. It feels less good.
Yeah.
I don't like it as much.
Yeah,
like before, it feels like we're doing something. Now it just feels like we've trapped ourselves.
Yeah, I'm just here.
Yeah.
But you know, what are you gonna do? Thanks for being here. You're the last person that's gonna be in here for a while.
Yeah,
so.
and since you have to go pick up your girlfriend from the State Department of Health or whatever in the States. Are you looking at your cat?
I'm looking at my cat.
Why didn't she just twitch like that?
She's never, I don't think she's ever.
Is she trying to turn into a person? She's just like fucking twitched out.
She's like, I'm gonna turn this podcast.
I'm just gonna show some asshole and I'm done.
That's all she does is show me her asshole and get mad.
Oh well, if you're watching, you might don't fucking drink my water, bitch.
I think she's out.
Or my coffee.
View. I don't think she'll be seen. Go away.
Don't yell at the people listening.
I'll just get a little water.
You just splash her.
Just splash her. She'll go away.
All right. Or just stay there. That's fine. What's up, dude? How was your week?
It was different. Just because
alone, you were a boy being a boy.
I was alone playing video games, just singing to myself. I did notice that I talk to myself out loud a lot.
Yeah.
I forgot that I do that, and that I tell myself like sometimes I feel like I tell bad jokes to my significant other just to annoy her.
Yeah.
But it turns out I tell those bad jokes to myself.
I talked to the dog. I was alone last night. I talked to the dog just to convince myself I'm not talking to myself, but I'm talking to myself.
I definitely talk to cat, but I also talk to
cat.
myself. I talk to myself fully, and because I do enjoy this thing. I'm a very simple humored man, and I do enjoy this thing where I just have to replace any word in a song with the word Jew, and I tend to think it's very funny. Do you know what I mean?
Hilarious.
So and it could be like and you should play in the go in the comments if you could think of one good song, and I'm talking about like I will ever always love Jews or
you can do it with WAP too if you hate Italian. Just hit me with your best WAP.
See, there you go. And it's a harder game.
Dago.
Right.
That's the New York slang for a stupid Italian.
That's true because there's a lot of U's that you can do. I would do anything for Jews.
Yeah, it gets repetitive though.
It does. So you have to you can find something different.
Right.
You can find a different way. Like while my Jew gently weeps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something so you don't have to use the Jew.
While my Jew gently weeps is definitely a sad one.
Yeah. So I just sang some of my Jew songs and
watch The Sopranos.
Yeah. And I went pretty far this time because I was just sitting around going Jew 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 Jew.
Yeah.
I'm like, see this? I don't even need. There's no lyrics in between at all.
Yeah, I don't know the lyrics about smoking crystal meth and all that shit.
It's a pretty dark song, eh?
Yeah, apparently. But who cares?
When I fell asleep inside you, that's a lyric in there.
Is it?
I was like, oh,
when I fell asleep inside you.
Why would he be inside? Excuse me, I'm gonna go to my bedroom. That's.
Did you watch anything?
Yeah, I watched. I decided to give Designated Survivor a chance because I do have a bit of a man crush on Kiefer since 24.
Oh yeah, that's the one where it's like the random idiot, like everyone dies and he becomes the president or whatever.
The random idiot. I was talking to Carly and to my girlfriend, and I was like. And I was telling her, I was like, I'm watching this show, and in it, there's I don't know if you know that there's this rule that when all the Senate or whatever gets together, there's one person who gets chosen to put aside. She's like, yeah, some random citizen. I go, no, it's not. It's not like just some random citizen. It's not a lottery that they do. It's still.
It's a guy who's in charge of quality assurance at the paint factory or whatever. And they're
he's still
hey, you know the difference between blues? You're the president now, so everyone dies.
You with the stop sign, you know how to.
The meter maid.
Yeah, be in charge of things. No, but it's like an actual,
How? Okay.
But it's really just Kiefer just has this attitude that makes me want to continue watching. He's just good. He's
good, man.
Everything's very intense, you know.
But I only watched the trailer and it was him being like, "I'm a coward."
Yeah, I think it's I watched only a few episodes. It's it's such prime time garbage.
Yeah.
Such a soap opera. They have to, like, you know, especially it's funny when you're watching these shows that are definitely not made for streaming services, because it's like they go to commercial break so
and
often.
then they recap what just
Yeah.
happened before
Yeah.
commercial break.
And you're like, okay, we know this. You've told
I
it
just
to me
watched
100
this shit. Yeah.
times. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. 24 was like that. When
24 rule, dude.
It was my favorite show in the world.
Yeah.
It was what started the idea of binge watching anything. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was the
you
challenge
had to,
to
yeah.
watch 24 in 24
Yeah,
hours,
yeah.
and and I did that for the first few seasons.
Yeah, I got the flu, and I just watched all of 24 when I was like 24 years old, actually. 24.
So good. He was my favorite character in the world. Like when people talk like those Chuck Norris jokes should have completely been just changed to
About
Jack
Kiefer
Bauer
Sutherland?
jokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's not Kiefer, because Kiefer to me, he doesn't emulate.
Oh, it's Kiefer.
Like I see him in a picture, like drunk, like slouching in a bar. Cause
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He's got a very him and Russell Crowe would be great drinking buddies. I feel like
I'd love to just see the like clog shoes that they give him to wear on set, because
He's
you
what,
know
5'8"?
Yeah, he's tiny probably, so like they just like have to boost him up all the time.
yeah, that rules.
Yeah, it's really funny. There's like in
the Tom Cruise school of calf extension exercises.
Yeah, and I was also thinking about Tom Cruise recently, just because I think I saw some article about him. But you know that thing with his teeth?
Yeah, where his front right tooth is in the center of his face or whatever.
It's really, really like once you see it,
Yeah.
you can't unsee
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It sucks, man.
Yeah, it's
I live my old roommates. Like how that affects me. That knowledge affects me so much that like when I live with my old roommates, we had a picture of Tom Cruise above the toilet bowl for some reason.
what
Not my choice.
from what like
From Top Gun.
okay.
But in my head superimposed his teeth over. Like I was telling people, oh yeah, I know that because like his smile is above my toilet, but it wasn't. It was a picture of him with his mouth closed. But that knowledge of his front tooth being in the middle of his face is so ingrained in my head that my brain like put his teeth in there in my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wonder if when they made Top Gun, Val Kilmer really wanted the lead role. Like he was probably thought he was leading man material, and he's like, "Fuck this Tom Cruise guy."
Yeah.
And I wonder if someone went up to him and was like, "Do you want to know why you're not the leading guy in this, and you're the side guy?" He's like, "Why?" And they took out some sort of futuristic machine that showed the future, and he goes, "This is what Tom Cruise looks like in 2020, and this is what
your cancer-riddled face sounds like." I feel bad. I think Val Kilmer is apparently like a really nice guy and everything, but he sounds like he's got like a robot voice now.
Now obviously you feel bad. If you saw his condition, you'd feel bad.
Yeah.
Like obviously you feel bad for him. But he's also one of the weirdest dudes. He had a music career for a little bit with some of the worst.
He deserves it.
He had the worst music I'd ever heard. It's those people who just don't get where their talent ends. You know, they just think that they can do anything. It's just a little.
What you got to do is you got to Heath Ledger yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
I fell asleep watching A Knight's Tale last night.
I've
you ever
never seen
it?
that. No, is
Dude,
it good?
Dude, it is so stupid. Yeah. It is insanely stupid.
Yeah.
I fell asleep an hour in, but let me tell you something.
Let
me tell you something.
Yeah.
So the whole premise is that he's like not a noble. He's not a pure blood, right? He's not noble of birth, but he wants to become a knight.
Right. Oh
So
shit.
he lies or whatever. So here's the thing: is that he falls in love with like some princess bitch or whatever. This girl who's like in every early 2000s movie, you'd know her immediately. She hasn't been in anything since 2005.
So he's like Aladdin. He wants to marry a princess, but he's
Yes,
not.
exactly.
And he's
But
lying about being a prince, kind of thing.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to marry. He just wants to be a jouster.
Oh, he wants to joust.
Okay. So, but the first time he meets up with, like, the first time him and this girl have, like, a real romance, they get to spend time together is at this, like, ball or whatever. Yeah. And the rival in the movie is like, show us the dance of your people or whatever. And he starts dancing.
Yeah.
And he's bumbling through it or whatever. But then David Bowie's Golden Years starts playing. Uh-huh. And they dance to Golden Years as though it's playing in the movie. Like, there's no way it's playing. There's no way they can hear Golden Years. But then you remember the second scene of the movie is a crowd watching a jousting tournament singing "We Will Rock You" by Queen.
What?
Yeah.
So where does this
They're
movie
going
take
like,
place?
The whole crowd's fucking
as
doing
they
that
did.
shit. Yeah.
As they did.
So, and then the blacksmith, because of course the blacksmith is hot in the movie, right? It's a hot chick blacksmith.
Oh, of course.
Of course, it has to be a hot
That's
chick.
what they all were. We all know.
Yeah. She makes him a armor that's lighter because she found a new way to heat steel, is what she says.
Jesus, cool for her.
Yeah.
She sounds modern and hip. And
someone's like, "What's this on the shoulder?" And she's like, "Oh, that's my mark, so everyone knows that I made it." And you look at it; it's a fucking Nike swoosh. These people had no idea what they were doing.
No
with this
way.
movie.
There's a Nike swoosh.
Yeah, there's a Nike swoosh.
So it's like she created Nike.
She
back
created
then?
Nike. I think it's in the future and it's post-apocalyptic, and the only thing they have left of our people's culture is Queens We Will Rock You, Golden Years, and the Nike swoosh.
And she's like, here you go. So now joust, do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And then they just
That's the one time I'll allow your shitty pun jokes
And
to
they
make
all-
it on this show without me groaning.
and they all just stare at the camera for the rest of the movie. Blinking.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Just waiting for
Yeah,
something.
that movie sucks so bad. It's good.
So is it a comedy?
It's like it's got a lot of comedic relief.
Right. It sounds awful.
There's the one actor that you've seen in everything.
Yeah.
As like the quirky funny guy.
Yeah.
And Baratheon, what's his name? Robert Baratheon from Game of Thrones is in it.
Sure.
Much younger.
Sure. What is Heath Ledger in besides The Dark Knight that is good? And what do you, like, I know your favorite movie,
What?
the one with Jake Gyllenhaal and
Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the only Jake Gyllenhaal movie I haven't seen.
See,
I actually tried to watch it because I was like, who cares if it's gay,
yeah,
right?
who cares? We
And
don't
I
care.
tried to watch it.
I'm like,
and
I don't
just
care if it's
couldn't
gay.
do it.
Okay, so
I
he's
couldn't.
so
As
he's
soon as they started
aggressively
making
kissing
out,
him.
I was like,
okay, so,
I can't
so
fucking.
they're aggressively. I don't. You think that's what? I think I'm going to be bothered by that? No, I can. Okay, so he's wow,
Penetrating
he's fucking
his
him.
asshole.
That's
Yeah.
really hard. That's harder than I didn't know they
That's
did it that hard. Oh, you know what, baby? No lube. They don't have any. So
No, just spit
he just-
and
he
country
just-
grass
that-
clippings.
And how do we know that he hasn't eaten recently? We don't know that. They didn't have the
There's just
conversation.
shit all over.
They didn't have that
his tent.
conversation about when's the last. Are we sure that this is a? Let me tell you something. If you go like, hey, want to do anal, and she goes, I don't know, don't do it. 'Cause let me tell you something.
She had
or
she
she-
had a smoothie bowl
Yeah.
that's not settled right.
If they're
you know
not
what I mean?
positive, then just don't do it.
But with men in the ranch, baby, when those rolling hills start looking like a man's ass and everything you look at, the trees
Yeah.
sway the way his body sways. Boy, do
was-
you want to fuck him in the ass.
I too was quite surprised at the graphic of that scene of them in like the.
I
tent
think
or
that was the
whatever it
last thing I before I turned off and went to go masturbate. Yeah.
But exactly, I couldn't handle my.
No, but I was just like, if I'm watching it, it's to prove to myself that I don't have a problem with it. I didn't enjoy the story. You know what I mean? Like I didn't.
Some
need
people
to-
really look at you straight in the eye, and just be like, "No, that's a great movie." And I go,
It was just the first one to be that gay.
there aren't that many pure love stories that I consider great
Exactly.
that don't have like something else going on.
Except for Drive, baby. The story of a man and the love for his car. That's
hate
the
it. I
great.
didn't
You
like
hate that movie? That movie ruled, dude. He said 4 words the whole time, and he, love
That's
it.
why everything was just like standing and like
And
just like
sick music. You
yeah.
have a problem with that?
I don't know. It just felt a little over like what's that video game?
I'm pretty sure that movie started like the revolution of music going back towards an 80s style.
No,
Yes,
it came
did.
after what that stupid Theft Auto game.
Grand
And
Theft Auto?
dude, that was what happened. All of a sudden, the trailer for that game, and they used that song, and I run.
Oh, yeah?
And it fucking everyone's like, wait a minute, why is this synth the best sound that I've ever heard in my life? And
Dude,
the
more
80s
than
came
there's
back.
Roxy music's more than this, and isn't that game? You're just riding around with the sunset in front of you.
I
Oh my
hate
God.
these fucking games, and I find
You do?
like any game where like you ever play the one with the cowboy
I
loser?
fucking love Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah, that's
I
you.
love Red Dead
It's
Redemption.
just dumb.
I fucking
Dude, there's no point. You do the same thing over
Yeah,
and
you
over
fucking-
and over again.
You ride your horse, you fuck a lady, and you shoot a bad guy.
Dude, I was talking to one guy and he's like, "What are you talking about? I played poker for like an hour." I'm like, "You played poker on the game against the? It makes no sense, dude. You've lost your minds."
I would never. I never played the poker and all that shit. I
Dude.
just rode around on a horse, and I felt like a man, and I would never. And I picked flowers.
Is that what you did? You picked
The
flowers?
first game, I was like,
Oh
I
my God.
love this
and then
game
gave
so
them to
much.
your boyfriend in a tent.
Yes,
and then
we fucked, and I recreated Brokeback Mountain. The first game, Red Dead Redemption 1, I loved it so much that I wanted. It was the only game I've ever gotten 100% on. I completed
You're
100%.
a nerd. I want nothing
Fuck
to do
you.
with that.
A couple other things I watched. My official review for a Haunting of Bly Manor. Haunting of Bly Manor, more like Haunting of Blimey, what a piece of shit.
Blimey.
Blimey, fucking. Dude, more like Haunting of my ass, because it's a fucking piece of shit that's stuck inside of my body.
Anybody tell me that like, oh, you should watch this horror TV show?
Apparently
No.
season 1 was great. Haunting of Hill House I've heard is really good, but this Haunting of Bly Manor was
It makes no sense. A TV
piece
show.
of shit.
It doesn't.
Dude, some of the worst, like casting for like when you have like the future and like past selves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The worst casting for future self I've ever seen in my life. This like 6'3" Indian dude with a mustache turns into a 5'9" Indian dude with glasses 50 years later or whatever. Like,
I like
10 years later. 10 years is all it took for him to shave a mustache and lose 6 inches in height.
There's the one from my childhood that has actually aged, so you actually know what they'll look like when they get older. Is the funniest is I'm surprised Christina Ricci or whatever her name is didn't just kill herself when they said you're going to be Rosie O'Donnell when you get older.
What movie is that?
I think it was called Now and Then. That's what I think it was called. And it was about the future and past, and it was like about Rosie O'Donnell pretending she wasn't gay probably or something like that.
Yeah.
What Tom Cruise, that cutie patootie, I really want a vagina. I have to pretend to think Tom Cruise is attractive for money. I hate my life.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She had a TV show for years.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I remember. She was like
before Ellen.
In my head, it was her and Oprah were like the queens of daytime talk show.
But hers was like cheesy, and she used to just throw kush balls at the and that's not like a racist term for someone's balls.
Yeah, it's not. Well, kush ball sounds like a bath bomb made of weed that you sort of CBD bullshit.
There were just these like rubbery balls, and then she the whole time she was obsessed with Tom Cruise. Like she wanted Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise is so hot
because he looks like a lady when he shaves from head to toe.
But really, it was just this is because she knew that that's what her audience wanted. Like they all wanted that sex with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. So she had to play
that she was obsessed with Tom Cruise.
Speaking of shaving from head to toe, I just shaved my face last week, and I think I nicked the inside of my nose, and
it looks disgusting.
Then I got a pimple out of it, and I was just telling you before the show. Remember when you were like, I don't know if this is real or not, but I heard once that if you pluck a nose hair wrong, you can get like an aneurysm or something.
Well, yeah, I was saying before, I know a guy who plucked a nose hair. And well, again, first of all, I don't know that he plucked the nose hair. He came to work and he had this giant. His nose was huge, but not from the outside. Like there was something going on
the inside.
And making it really swell up all on one side. Yeah. And he said it's because he tweezed a nose hair, not because someone fucked him in the nose or something. I don't know.
He got visited by the 3 ghosts of fucking the nose pass.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. He would, but yeah.
But it made me like think of like other things I heard as a child that I still believed, like old wives' tales and shit.
Sure, yeah.
And I remember when I was a kid, someone told me you can't tickle a baby or it might die. And that's just not. I found out.
You know who told him that? A baby, because he didn't want to be tickled. He's like, you can't do that.
I was like 8 years old, and I met my first baby or whatever. And I was like, the mom was like, don't tickle it, it's gonna die. And I was like, okay, that's a thing forever.
That's weird. I remember I actually believe the wind changing directions while you're making a face and you could stay like that forever.
Really? You thought that?
Because I think I saw some weird cartoon where like...
I think it was in The Simpsons.
No, it was before The Simpsons. Like it was like a weird... there was a lot of cartoon shows on like
when you were 40 years old.
That's right. I watched the Tracy Ullman show, the debut. With my family. There was a lot of cartoons, cheaper ones on Canadian television that didn't actually move. They were just like pretty much storybooks where they would show a page of illustration and just have voices over them. And there was this one about a guy this kid whose face stayed forever because he made some shitty face.
And then the wind changed.
And then if the wind changed directions, which sounded so mystical to me.
Yeah.
Like, why would that happen? You know? So I always felt like I was challenging the wind when I would make faces. And I'd be like...
Well, the thing is with you is that the wind used to be so handsome.
Yeah. I was laughing yesterday because yesterday I'm on FaceTime with my girlfriend, and I can't help when I see myself to like be making silly, stupid faces or awful
You're so
angles.
Quirky. You're not like the other girls.
Yeah, exactly. But I just need...
You like everything except for rap and country.
So
you just want to gym to your Pam.
So I'm just like staring at her in weird, stupid ways, and I make this really crazy face where I'm slowly getting angrier and angrier. I'm stretching out my neck muscles because I'm like Jim Carrey. I'm Elastic Man. People call me.
Sure.
They called me that, and then I was like, no, that's Jim Carrey's name. We don't want to take that away from him. And they're like, okay, so we'll just call you Oren.
2 Canadian legends.
And so I was making that face, and then I completely pulled something in my neck, and I was in so much pain. Like I was down for a while, and I had to like lie down and pinch the nerve with like ice.
Hell yeah.
It was really bad. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm at the age where I can injure myself in making a face. Perfect.
I mean, have you ever had that thing where you yawn and then your jaw gets stuck in a fucking alien spiral? Ever had? You know what I mean?
No.
If you yawn and you like put your chin down or something, your chin can like. There's like a thing where it's like, I don't know, just stays.
Jaw?
It locks open, and it's like it's a really fucking scary thing. It's really scary.
I would love to see you. Like, ah!
Please no.
Don't put anything in here. Just yelling and screaming.
Don't fuck my face.
You ever have friends who did really, really like on the verge of homosexual pranks? Because I didn't really have that kind of group.
I think I said this on the podcast before, but like once with a hockey team in a hotel room, I was happy not to get pranked by this, but this kid on the team with the biggest dick, and he was black, yes.
Yes.
Of
course he was.
He took his dick out when a guy was like on his bed. I don't think he was on his phone because it was like 2007, but maybe on his laptop or whatever in a hotel for a tournament. And this guy, a black guy, just takes his dick out and just starts slapping the guy's calf because it was the only part of his body that was exposed with skin. So he just starts slapping the guy's calf, and the guy's like, "What the fuck is that?" He turns around.
That's hilarious.
It's like, get the fuck out of here.
My God, slapping it. See, that sounds fun. I have to like two finger tweeze, just like I can't even imagine just like really
just like a slinky,
limp, like a limp, like just like just I don't know, like with weight to it. That sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
My whole life would be different. That'd be crazy.
You never would have gone into comedy
if I was just slinging shit. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I can't think of any other ones like gay
or like
gay stuff
teabagging and stuff like that.
Never seen anyone do that.
Me neither.
I don't think that's a thing.
You
all those guys are guys who like the guys who put their balls on their friends' faces and shit are guys who want that to happen.
Especially like in college, it's so like I remember that like there was this line in a lot of like sitcoms and stuff, except for that one time in college.
Yeah.
And to me, college, dude, you're so old by college. Like, do it like me when you're 12. You know what I mean? Like, don't be a weirdo. Do it when you're like, like when I did it, it was an experiment. It was a commitment to vagina. You know what I mean? It was like we're gonna do this so I don't walk in like an amateur. You know what I mean? Like,
but also we have a very different in Canada, unless you're rich, we have a very different college experience in Canada.
Yeah, that's
because no one goes away for school. Everyone just stays in town because, like, I know a handful of Montrealers who went to Toronto or like that small school Bishops, which I went to for a little bit. Right. Like most people, it's like insane to Canadians to spend $40,000 a year to go away to school or whatever. Like here, it's like max
$2,000 a semester.
Like the kids who get an apartment in the city to go to school are like the rich kids usually.
Yeah, I mean, you just live at home. You don't leave when you're 17. Like you don't leave after CEGEP. I mean, you don't leave going into pre-college or CEGEP.
Yeah, CEGEP for us is junior college, which we all have to go to. And in the States, you have to be a fucking loser to go to junior college.
So how does it work? What's a freshman?
It's first year of college.
First year
or
college.
High school, grade 9.
High school. Grade 9, and then grade 10, you're not a freshman anymore.
You're a sophomore, and then you're a junior, then you're a senior.
Jesus, sophomore, junior, senior.
Why are you like reacting to that? Like it
so
blew your mind.
We don't have any of that. Like we just
I really don't. We have grade 8 and grade 9, grade 10.
But they also call them grade, no?
Yeah. But they also, for some reason, have the other word.
Yeah, I remember when watching Dazed and Confused, it was hard to like keep track of like it's a sophomore, he's a senior, and for some reason there's an adult named
Matthew McConaughey.
He's just an adult like standing there for some reason.
Yeah,
so old in that.
Yeah, you can't write that character anymore. Just like a guy ogling 14-years-olds, being like, they stay the same age, baby.
God. A lot of creepy.
Oh, before I forget, I think I've talked about Forensic Files a lot on this show, or maybe a couple times.
You've mentioned.
I like Forensic Files a lot.
You do?
Anyway. There was this horrible, I hope we don't run out of camera for this, but there was this horrible case where a nurse was, a female nurse was seeing a doctor.
Okay.
And she wanted to break it off with him, but he didn't want that.
Oh.
And what he did is he got blood samples from an AIDS patient.
Doesn't sound good.
And under the guise of saying it was a B12 shot, injected this lady with AIDS.
Get out of here.
And when the cops went to interview the AIDS patient to see if he had been to the doctor recently, the guy opens the door and the cop's like, "Do you have HIV?" And the patient's like, "HIV? I got full-blown AIDS. And the cop's face when he retold that story, you just knew that this was the story he told at every cop function, every like Christmas party or whatever. He was just going, HIV, I got full-blown AIDS.
Excellent. What is that from originally? I know there's a Family Guy.
Family Guy,
Is it? Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's what made it into the lexicon.
The word full-blown AIDS.
Yeah, they had like the whole song and dance about it, you know?
That's crazy.
But I just love this cop with his fucking thick mustache.
But I
with a
understand,
little
what was his plan? That's an awful plan. To inject her with HIV?
Yeah, like
that is the longest plan in the world, and you're gonna get it too if you ever have sex with her.
Again, yeah, but once you're broken up, I guess, right?
Oh, okay, so they're broken up.
Yeah, they're broken up, but he's like, oh, but because I'm a nice guy, I'm gonna give you your last B12 shot that I've been giving you for every week for the last
but
whatever.
Instead, I'm gonna give you
AIDS and hepatitis C. He not only went to an AIDS patient and got a bit of his blood, he also got a Hep C patient and did a little cocktail.
Oh my god, that's fucking evil.
Yeah,
man.
it is.
That's
fucking evil.
Dark and evil shit.
It is. But also the cops didn't believe her story because like they went to interview people at the bar she hung out at and they were like, "Oh, she's a slut." The cop literally called her a slut on Forensic Files.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And they just let that go. What is that filmed recently?
No, it's probably like 2003-ish. Yeah.
That is not good.
Yeah.
There is this moment in I was watching The Wire, which I find which is great. I never watched
Wire's
it before.
fantastic.
And there is a moment where they kind of feel like they're talking about like I think they're bringing it up the idea that like the only good female cop is a lesbian.
Yeah, yeah, she is a big old. Did I ruin that for you?
And
no.
it's no, and then it's really funny that it is really funny that is the mentality of like if it's gonna be like really good at something, it's gonna be a lesbian. And like even like if you think about all this talk show hosts that we just said, Ellen,
you gotta like pussy if you're gonna be a cop.
Yeah, exactly.
All right?
Yeah, I mean it makes sense in obviously doesn't make sense kind of way, you know, and just such a silly and I think
that's like every cop's secret handshake. They shake hands and they go.
I imagine all like the way they show cops, it's pretty.
Well, it's a cop and a like police beat reporter who wrote that together. So, and other
I can't imagine that guy who plays Omar, who is like who's an actual.
He's
gangster.
great.
He like he can't. He was
no.
Yeah, he was.
No.
Yes, he was. No. He's been to jail. And that's
Michael K.
real.
White. Yeah. Okay, but he wasn't
real.
he wasn't one of like the Baltimore guys they got off the street. Like there's a bunch of Baltimore
but he has
people
he it's his first acting job.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, he's great, man. Omar's fucking great.
Unless he also was in Oz or something like that, but I don't.
Maybe I feel.
Unless
I don't know,
Oz
man.
was his first role and then he got this, I don't think so though. But anyways, then like he reads the part and it's a huge break for him.
Yeah.
And they like make him like this big gay guy in it, and he's probably like, dude, it's not. You're just doing this because it's like fun to do this, you know. And like he has to like change his whole rep. He's like, I better really get acting career after this because I'm not going back to the street.
I don't think
That's
you're
for
right
sure.
though. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure. I heard him in an interview once on Jim and Sam or something.
All right.
He has a pretty crazy past. They're obsessed with The Wire, so
that's great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I watched it, I think, 4 times.
It has. I don't know how anyone can watch it 4 times. Do you know why? Because it has the longest intro and unnecessary intro.
Way down in the hole. Because every season they do a cover of the song. It's a different version.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's fucking annoying, and it's so long for no reason. And there's no skip intro for some reason.
I know, because it's from 2000 whatever.
So I'm just sitting there, and like I try, and like my streaming is annoying because it goes from my phone to my TV. Mm-hmm. So when I skip, it like takes 30 seconds to skip 30 seconds. Yeah. So I'm like not getting anything.
You might as well go and like make yourself a full 8-course meal and then come back and watch the show.
Exactly. So it was I don't know, but it's really good.
You want to do that for a bit?
Yeah, let's do that.
Anything else about The Wire? Okay. Oh, last week you wanted to talk about cotton candy in French, and you forgot. I wrote that down.
Oh no, but that's like, yeah. Well, I was just I was at the Dep and the convenience store
for our American listeners.
Yeah.
And our Kuwaiti listeners.
Yeah.
I don't know what your word for convenience store is, but
it's probably like
don't do it. Don't do it. I know you're like part Arabic or whatever the fuck you like to say. You're an Arabic Jew, but you can't.
I am a Iraqi man.
I know.
I was in the store and I saw that they had cotton candy. First of all, like cotton candy in a bag, get out of here. What are you doing? Like if
I
you're
need
eating
it
cotton
fresh. I
candy
need it fresh
in
off
a
the cob.
bag, it's got to come out of that magic machine that just
Right.
creates cotton
Dreams.
candy out of
Creates
nowhere.
dreams.
Yeah. And the word for it in French is barbe à papa, which translates to daddy's beard.
Daddy's beard. That's definitely an
Daddy's
episode
beard.
title name. Daddy's beard also is what your future is going to be like when you once you marry your beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah, daddy's beard. It is the nastiest thing in the world, especially because to me a beard is like an old like religious dude that hasn't washed it in a million years. And it's scraggly.
This is.
They should
my
call
honest. What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say they should call like ramen noodles. That should be called daddy's beard. You know what I mean? Like that's of what I think of.
Daddy's nicotine stained beard.
Yeah, exactly.
He's never coming back, kid. Forget about him.
Yeah.
Ramen noodle is the color. I remember the first time I saw a man with like a nicotine stained mustache. It is ramen noodle color.
Yeah.
When you're like 50 years old
Yeah.
or 60 and your beard is gray and white, but everything around your lip is just
yellow. Yeah, I don't like that.
Ramen noodle fucking face. My honest theory as to why it's called Daddy's beard, barbe à papa, is because Santa Claus in French is called Papa Noel, Papa Christmas. I think it's supposed to be Santa's beard.
It's called Daddy Christmas?
Yeah, Papa Noel.
Daddy
Papa
Christmas. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Daddy Christmas.
Yeah.
Or my Christmas daddy.
There's a lot of weird shit that doesn't translate to French. Like, what's the Jingle Bells? Jingle Bells, the song?
Yeah.
In French, it's praise the wind, praise the wind, praise the winter wind.
Oh, for the wind because it's bells,
Vive le
I
vent,
guess?
vive le vent. I don't know.
I imagine because it makes the bells move.
All hail the wind. It's like there's a fucking ghost monster that's going to come get us, you know?
I never understood, because often they do these translations that don't make sense. And because I spent some time in Israel, it reminded me a lot of French movies that would have a new title, but the title would have nothing to do.
Yeah, I wish we had looked some up so we had examples. Do you have any?
But one in Israel that always made me laugh because they would at least translate words usually, but sometimes they wouldn't, you know? But I remember the movie Big.
With Tom Hanks.
Was in the movie rental place, and I was like, oh, I wonder this is going to be called Gadol because that is Hebrew for big, and it was just called Big. And I was like, what? This one makes no sense. It's not like it's his name. His name wasn't Big. You know what I mean? I just love how sometimes they just skip. They just decide, oh, that's a weird movie. That's a movie where he becomes an adult and then kind of falls in love with this woman, and then
he's a kid who falls in love with a.
But he's a kid who finds this future fortune telling machine, and he wakes up and he's an adult because that was his wish, and then he becomes it's the stupidest plot that he becomes the lead. He becomes the VP somehow because he excels because he goes into a toy store and he's like, I'm really good at toys, and the guy who owns the place is like, why is this man so good at toys? Bring him into the toy just creating.
Yeah. He's the VP of toys,
and he's like, I'm the VP of toys now, and he just has an office full of toys.
Meanwhile, in real life, it would just be a man who's now confined to a mental institution because his IQ plummeted so quickly.
The kid is 11 or 12, and then he meets this girl, and he's so innocent, just wants to play or whatever, and she's falling in love with him. When he realistically, if he was 11, 12, and just got all these hormones injected into his body, he would just turn into a psycho.
Yeah, he would just be jacking off every day, every second of the day.
It's just so ridiculous. And then he has a best friend who's a little kid, who's like, you need to come back to
being a kid.
So dumb, man.
There was that era of movies up until the early 2000s where for some reason it was insinuated that the child would fall in love with a grown adult. Remember Blank Check?
Yeah, Blank Check.
Check. It's that lady was it Julie Bowen maybe?
Yeah.
Was it the girl from Happy Gilmore in Modern Family?
Long. Yeah.
She it's insinuated in the movie that she's falling in love with the kid.
Just because he has money and he's
I don't know, dude.
So dumb. There's a lot of weird, when you look back at all those.
Baba Papa.
Yeah.
My girlfriend told me this story about something 10 years ago. She was at her friend's place for whatever, it was lunchtime or whatever.
Okay.
With the friend's whole family.
Set the scene. It's lunchtime 10 years ago.
Well, it's important that it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
So the friend's whole family was there, and the friend had a 2-year-old brother.
Okay.
Okay, and the whole family is just talking around the table.
So that's so your girlfriend was 3 years old when this happened. 10 years ago, you said?
She was 18 or 20 or 20, whatever. I don't know. But they're all having lunch, and everyone's just talking. Well, no one's paying attention to a two-year-old. And my girlfriend just turns, and she sees the 2-year-old just chugging a bottle of ketchup. And she's not like the kids. She's not related to him. She's not gonna be like, "What the fuck you doing?" But she just like takes the bottle. She's like, "What are you doing?" The kid's like, mouthful of ketchup, just goes, "I like it."
That is so creepy. That kid is gonna be fucked.
Because he was like gurgling. He had like ketchup in his throat. He was trying to like swallow. Go like, "I like it."
I hate it. I hate that so much.
I've just been going around the apartment going, "I like it. I like it." Because imagine a 2-year-old just with a fucking mouthful of ketchup.
I could never look at it. I'm thinking about the smell. I fucking hate the smell of ketchup.
You hate the smell of ketchup?
I hate ketchup. I dated this girl once who would just take a packet of ketchup and just tear open a little bit at the top and then suck on the package. And just
McDonald's ketchup too? Which is like ketchup plus extra sugar.
And let me tell you what's going on here. First of all, you're getting the nastiness of I'm just drinking ketchup, okay? And the second of all, she's sucking on a package that was just handed to her by somebody. You know what I mean? As if I just put your mouth
I forgot
all
about
over.
that.
Let me tell you some things that are over for me. Freezies, over, okay?
Yeah?
Me sucking on a piece of plastic.
You mean like since the pandemic or
since the pandemic,
okay. I thought you meant because you reached a certain age, which would be normal.
No, I still enjoy freezy, but I have to
Actually,
I have to cut the side on angles because
because because your mouth is out of dick sucking.
Exactly.
It's like when you stop working out, you're not gonna start lifting up a 30-pound weight and curl it right away. You got to work your way up. You got to work your way back to a freezy from your dick sucking days.
I got to make it dick shaped. Is that what's really?
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, making it dick shaped.
Listen, our mouths are shaped like that for a reason. We've evolved as humans. You know.
I've heard that joke before of like if I'm not supposed to suck so much dick, why is my throat the shape of a dick?
Right. That even makes sense.
I guess. I suppose. I can't believe fall's almost over. Like, did you do any of the stupid fall stuff like apple picking?
No.
You went on hikes. I'm sure you took some pictures.
We went on hikes, but I guess we took some pictures. I don't know. We went on hikes. It was nice.
You're wearing flannel.
I am wearing flannel today. It's the first. If you guys are keeping track of Jason's wardrobe choices as you watch these
Jason's
podcasts.
never reworn the same.
I don't think
twice.
I have. I think it's on purpose too.
And I'm wearing the same thing every single day because I'm at home.
You're like a cartoon character. You open up your closet, it's just that shirt 17 times in those pants.
I would literally. I do buy one new thing, and I'm like, this looks all right on me, and then I decide
wear it every day.
And then I'll buy like 5 of them. I'll go back to the store online.
I did that.
And buy the exact same.
I did that with Old Navy. I bought 4 of the same shirt, different colors.
To me, you are Old Navy and American Eagle.
I haven't worn American Eagle since I was 17.
You don't have that kind of money. It's true. You're more.
I just don't like the logo because then everyone knows you went to American Eagle, and I don't even like the jeans.
I want no logo on anything.
Me too. That's why I became a J. Crew man when I was a young man.
I'm slowly morphing a little bit to a graphic tee now. I'm kind of seeing a little bit of a value on some rock and roll graphic tees.
Oh, God.
I
don't mind some graphic tees.
But from like a Japanese tour or something like that. You know what I mean?
I have some graphic tee. I wore that
one, and you looked bad. You looked like
fantastic.
Yeah, you looked like a little. I don't know. There was something going on with you there. I was like, make me a coffee. I feel like you'd make me a good coffee right now.
Okay, I look like I was. I look like I threw away my education to become a professional barista.
Yeah, like you could just go make me a homebrew like right now. You know what I mean? Or go make me make beer.
Maybe one day I'll get into beer making.
Dude, I've never had someone's beer and was like, that's delicious.
It's always a piece of shit.
Drinkable, wine, that's another one. Anyone who's like, oh, my father makes a get out of here.
Get out of here. Fucking
garbage.
Portuguese garbage fucking bathtub wine.
I can't even fucking handle it. People scoff at you if you're like, I got this wine at the dep. That's because you probably got it from some homeless guy who stole it from someone.
Hey, call back, baby.
I always thought about that when I was thinking about that later. I was like, that's what the SAQ selection is.
It's just the
selected by fucking crackheads who. Yeah.
I will say that that's I don't know if you're from the States or listening to this. Our booze is government owned. You guys have like sick little liquor stores where murders happen and stuff. We have
anything you want.
We have government stores. That's the only place where you can buy good booze, or you can buy cheap, shitty wine at the grocery store and convenience store.
Well, it makes no sense. I'd love for someone to please explain to me what that law is. What is you're allowed to sell it at the convenience store versus not allowed to sell it at the
It's like
convenience
certain
store.
wines too. There's like
So who chose these? What is this
I
going
don't know,
on?
man. There's some guy,
They have
there's
to be
some
bad? Like
alcoholic
what?
in the government who's like, that's a bad one, that's a good one, so that one goes there.
My mother works at this one. My cousin owns that one. I think that's how it works. It's bullshit.
I don't know, man. I really don't know how they pick which wines go to the government store and which ones go to the
So
the
easy to
convenience
spend
store.
money on wine, man. Wine is something people like will look down at you for doing other things every day, but like if you drink a bottle of wine for some reason, you think you're upper class, you know? But let me tell you something. A bottle of wine every day is a lot of wine.
That's a lot of wine, dude. That's like a 6-pack.
Yeah,
Or like
exactly.
that's like more than a 6-pack every day.
But if for some reason it's sophisticated because you spent so much goddamn money on that bottle, or like you chose it so
$12 bucks?
specifically. No, $12. I'm talking about,
Even a great bottle of wine is like $25. Like,
what are you talking about?
you don't have to spend $60 on a bottle of wine to have
You
it
do
be
not
amazing.
have to, but you
There's
can,
great bottles of wine at $20, $25, $30.
Yes, there is, but there's amazing
Of
wine
course, yeah.
at the 60s. But do you think you have to be at a certain level to appreciate something at a $65? I think.
I wouldn't want it. I don't like wine that much. You know what I mean? Like I really
like red wine.
I like a red wine too. White wine, forget it. White wine's like might as well be a cider. You know what I mean? Like,
Is this perfume? Every time I drink it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is perfume. It tastes like
it's
perfume.
too sweet, man.
It just smells, and there's too much smell going on a white wine. I remember, never forget, there was this like Eaton's that my mother used to bring me to a lot. Do you remember Eaton's?
The department store, yeah.
Yeah, there'd be Eaton's. They don't exist anymore. There's
No, but for some reason our biggest mall downtown is named after it still.
And Toronto,
the Eaton
too.
Center. Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I remember there used to be, and it was like I don't know,
It was
what
like
was
a
it?
Sears.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was exactly Sears.
It was a shitty Sears, and that's why it went bankrupt first and then Sears second.
And they had this giant, like at the entrance was all like the perfume booths, you know? Like,
Yeah, you walk in, yes.
oh my God. And like, it felt like I hit a wall. Like,
Of grandmother's pussy.
I'd have a
Just a guy named Harold is like, Maud, your pussy smells again. I don't know why I chose Harold and Maude. Isn't that like a movie?
Harold and Maude.
Yeah. Anyways, Maud, your pussy smells again. Put some Chanel No. 5 on it.
Dude, that shit. I feel like walking through a wall. Like I get a headache right away. Like,
Yeah.
Like every time I walk by another booth, it felt like someone was smashing me with a bat to the back of the fucking
Just those
head.
football practice drills where it's like those dummies that you have to tackle through, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just a
yeah,
wall of
yeah,
scent.
Yeah. I hated. I still, and like my mother always wore vanilla everything,
Ugh.
and I cannot take that scent anymore. Like if like a vanilla candle, I won't accept in the house. Like I can't do vanilla smelling. I'm just
That's
sick
too
of
bad.
it.
Today I wiped with vanilla scented wet wipes for you.
Well,
on
I'll
my
still get into
asshole.
that ass. I'll still fucking, I'll nestle my
You'll
tongue.
still broke back that mountain.
Yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. You know what I mean? Gotta make your friends happy.
HIV. I got full blown AIDS.
Man, that's crazy.
It is. It's very sad. And she was still alive too in the interviews.
I was always so shocked. Oh, I feel like I'm fucking everything up.
Yeah, don't touch that.
I was so shocked when I met this guy who was dating in Montreal in the gay community, and he was like talking about this guy he was dating. He's like, and he just told me that he had HIV, and I'm like, you didn't tell me that you had HIV when we were dating. And he was like, yeah, I so did tell you. I'm like, I don't remember him telling me.
That was something you remember immediately.
How are you talking this? Like, I would be telling that story. I'd be like Brad Pitt at the end of fucking 7. I couldn't get a word out. You know? Like,
yeah.
What are you talking so casually about it? It's really crazy how things have changed. But I guess it's a good thing because it's because you can survive, you know, and you can make it just as a
Doesn't
fragile.
sound like fun though. I mean, I'd still rather not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I had to pick between not having it and having it, I'd go with what I got right now.
When you get older, it's so weird. Like you see a doctor and they're like, have you ever been told no for an AIDS test?
Sorry, what?
Like they'll say no. Like I've asked my doctor's like, you're not getting an AIDS test. And I'm like, why? He's like, why would you get an AIDS test? And I was like, I don't know. I've had sex with women. He's like, have you had sex with a guy? And so he asked me, and I was like, no.
Women get it.
And he's like, have you had sex with for money, like sex worker, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, me get paid or they get paid? Doctor, are you offering me something right now? And I was like, no. And he's like, so no, you don't need to.
Is it more expensive, maybe? You go to a Jewish doctor, that's what happens. You go to a regular doctor, he like gives you the AIDS test.
They
right
just
away.
really think if you have no risk, there's no reason.
Okay.
But
So you I might have AIDS now.
But no, straight people don't really. Yeah, exactly. You might have because
of you.
Because we shared a needle and had anal sex before this. I didn't get using a needle to get high. How fucked up would that be?
To get high on what?
On like anything, using a needle and a rubber band and like having a fucking.
Where do you even get those bands? Those rubber bands at the fucking heroin store? Like where are those from? Welcome to Carl's Crack House.
And like I was watching that fucking movie, The Devil Knows You're Gay or whatever, and it's like all of that.
Wait, what? The Devil All the Way or whatever it's called?
The Devil Knows You're Gay, or Before the Devil Knows You're
dead.
You're dead. And
I don't know what that movie is. I've heard of it, but I don't know I can't picture who's in it.
We didn't talk about this?
I think we did maybe on the second or third, actually.
No, I just watched it like a week ago. Philip Seymour Hoffman. No, we didn't talk about this.
No. Oh, it's on my computer. I illegally downloaded it.
It's a good movie. It's like one of those crimes gone wrong. I'm like stressed out the whole time kind of movies.
Okay.
And he goes to this like heroin rich like gay dude's heroin den where like it's just really like lavish in this big apartment, and he just like gets it done for him while he lies down, you know. And I'm like, I don't think like maybe that exists, but this is such a dumb writer's concept of like what this is. It's not like they did research, you know, to be like, oh, this is how people do heroin.
I don't. I feel like even rich people find like a shitty heroin den to do heroin.
Of course,
you don't have money. Like you don't. It's not like. I don't know. No one has like sustainable income who does heroin that much. You know what I mean? You start selling everything you have.
Well, I guess
unless you're just a billionaire or millionaire or whatever.
Well, it's great. Like to me, when I was growing up, heroin was only for people who lived on the streets. Like it wasn't even.
That's what you hear.
It wasn't a designer drug by any means. But it turns out that tons of celebrities did a lot of heroin. You know?
Yeah, because what happens, I think, is that it's easier to get than like those prescription pills. So once you get hooked to like oxycodone or whatever, and then you just move on to heroin because it's easier.
Can't wait.
Isn't that?
Can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
I do it between my toes. You know what I mean?
You would, or you do?
No, I mean, I guess that's where I would do it.
Oh. I wouldn't do it.
Really? Not even when you're
right
like
into my dick.
Not right into the tip. Just funnel it in.
Yeah.
To the tip. There was a guy once. I think I told this story once when I was in high school. There was a guy at this party, and everyone was like in a room, and I was like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Do it." And he had like the antenna of one of those portable phones.
You know that's called sounding, right?
In his dick hole. Yeah,
it's called sounding, and it's a fetish.
Sounding?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That's the weirdest thing to call it.
When you stick stuff up your dick hole, it's called sounding.
I couldn't believe how big the dick pic, like,
but
like he showed
the
like
dick hole is elastic.
He had a very he had a very large dick hole.
He had a wide set pee hole.
That was the big thing. Like I feel like when he peed, just went like it all just fell out, kind of like a woman, you know. It was like so large. I feel like he could dock my dick with like inside.
With his dick hole. That's how you do it if you don't have foreskin.
I want to try docking. It's the only gay thing I'd like to try.
Gross.
Because I just want to feel what it's like to have foreskin for a second. I just want to know what the comfort.
It's scientific. It's not gay. It's scientific.
Yeah, I just want to make a decision for my future child.
Hope this is
I've had both.
Hey, what?
I want to make a decision for my future child. You know, I'm like, I've experienced what it feels like to have it, and I know what it's like to not have it.
Yeah.
This is what I choose for you.
There's a lot of moments in this episode of this podcast that I hope someone's listening to at work, and then the headphones rip out for some reason, and it just blasts off at work.
That's when I listen to Come Town. That is how I feel all the time. Like if this unplugs right now, I am so
I'm on a list. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I had something else to say, but I guess I forgot. Have you ever been to? I don't know, because I've never been to a bar mitzvah. Have you ever been to like a really?
You've never been to a bar mitzvah?
I didn't know any Jews until I was 15.
Are your family anti-Semites? What the hell?
What do you mean? I grew up in Laval. You grew up surrounded by Jews in Côte Saint Louis.
Never been to a bar mitzvah, like not.
Well, I don't know any 13-year-olds now, so I'm not gonna get invited to any.
Dude, you've never lived, man. It's because they break up with you by the time they turn 12. Bar mitzvahs are so much fun. What were you asking me?
I don't know, a great one or a shitty one. Like, what's the worst bar mitzvah you've been to?
Let me tell you some fucking bar mitzvah stories. First of all,
should we save this for next episode?
Okay.
Do we have another hour to go? What are you talking about?
Ladies and gentlemen, go grab your mint teas and take a seat in your suspended chairs and kneel on your carpets, because I'm going to tell you a story.
Not everyone that's listening to this is in Kuwait, by the way. We have other listeners. The guy in fucking Coolimy, North Carolina or whatever has no idea what you're talking about right now.
Dude, they used to throw like they were like the biggest parties in the world. Like, and if you got like there were so many rich. I went to like there were so many rich Jews. Did you know that there's a lot of Jews
That have money?
that have money? Did you know that? No, I
They
didn't.
invented having money.
And there's a lot of like pressure.
Everyone would just spend the money they had to buy goods and services, and the Jews were like, no, 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 no.
And if you're like, I got screwed because like if you're born in a popular like month to be born, you know, like a March. If you're a March or something,
March
like that.
or for some reason March or July have like so many fucking.
So if you're then there are like 4 a night. You're fucking moving around, man. You're
It's like hitting up fucking open mics in New York City.
Dude, you have to have it all planned out. We felt like the guys from Swingers, you know, because we like had to have the entire night planned out. We're going here, we're spending here. Like, okay, we're gonna do hors d'oeuvres at Jimmy's, and then we're gonna do the meal at Nathan's.
Moishi's.
Then we're gonna do the dancing at Moishi's, and then we're gonna go
at Shlomi's.
Yeah, and then we're gonna finish with some nightcaps of Shirley Temples at David's.
Getting fucked up on grenadine juice. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
on mine there were 4 or there were 3 other bar mitzvahs on my night, and I like
wow.
And there were at one point there was nobody left like everywhere because no one wanted to come to mine. There were bigger ones to do. You know what I mean? There were rich kids doing. Dude, they just give shit out.
Exactly. That's what I was
come
asking.
back with a DVD player and like
everyone's got a DVD player.
I got more
their
shit.
dad fucking like is the guy from Fast and Furious. Just like they heisted DVD like built-in DVD players into a TV.
Distributed it to the Jewish community, and it was insane. Like there was this one guy who had a bar mitzvah, and it was catered by McDonald's, Dagwood's,
What?
Schwartz's, one Tasty Foods, and one Chinese restaurant.
Okay.
And each one had its own like fake restaurant built in.
No way.
Yeah. And you'd go
It's like
in.
a Vegas convention center.
It was the craziest thing in the world. And we're just going around from Big Mac to a Dagwood sandwich to like going to like get a Schwartz's sandwich. I don't even know how they got Schwartz's because like
Church doesn't do that shit. It's a Montreal institution.
yeah,
if
and they
you don't
actually
know,
had like
smoked meat.
giant hanging meats. Like it like looks like they
No
took
way,
the
they
storefront and brought it to this fucking place.
Holy
and then
shit.
they would have all the rides you could imagine.
The
Like,
rides?
oh, dude, they'd have like these giant blow up things, like this, like the giant sumo
bouncy houses,
the
and
bouncy
shit.
houses, and the sumo shit, and the
You
fucking
know what would be
like.
fun if that sumo suit fill it up with helium and start floating around like the fucking Willy Wonka
It'd be sick. And then slowly you just let it out. It's like you have a valve at the ass that you just get to like put out and then slowly move through. And then then they would have just like also they had these animators they called them, which were
like MCs.
MCs that would like walk around the dance floor and try to get you to
Hey,
dance.
look at Timmy's moves over here. Yeah.
And they were all like, and it's funny saying
It was
this
probably
now.
it was probably someone who did a feature spot at the Comedy Nest on the weekend.
Yeah,
it was like
oh
a
my
great
God,
comedian.
for sure. It's so like half of those people.
Yeah.
And then there was, but they would have like 3, I guess, I want to say women, but they were more teenage girls. You know, they
Okay.
were like probably in the 17, 18-year-olds
Okay.
who used to be the dancers, and they would be wearing
Weird.
skimpy little shirts. And
Weird.
like, it's not weird. It's what they're probably over.
My son's turning 13. He's gonna have the tightest asses at the
and they would
party. He's
just
gonna have
dance,
the tightest asses.
and they would like teach you the dances that like that you were doing.
the Macarena.
Yeah, exactly. The
Okay.
Macarena and the Cotton Eye
Did you
Joe.
say Macarena with an accent?
Macarena
Okay.
and the
Macarena.
and the Cotton Eye Joe.
That's so. I hate that song so much.
And 100%
What is that?
pure love.
What
Going
is
back
that?
to the middle and around again.
What the fuck is that? What is that?
100%. You want to do
What
that?
is that? No. What is that? What are you singing right now? I've never heard this song in my life. Also, it should be noted that Oren's wearing a toque, a beanie, if you will, and it's a Jewish diner beanie on brand. That's shit,
Yeah,
dude.
that's right. Fucking represent.
Beauties, baby.
Cuties. Want to wait 5 hours for $25 bagel? For $25 bagel? Come do it here.
$25 bagel and a $19 milkshake, and the first thing in the morning, want to get diabetes right now, bitch?
Worth it because
the
we're an
beauties.
institution. Yeah. So bar mitzvahs like that were so amazing, and like you just got to like hang out. There's a lot of socializing, and you'd like I don't know what any other 13-year-old did. What did 13, 14-year-olds do every weekend?
Not that. I don't know. Nothing.
yeah,
Played
we
fucking
partied.
played GoldenEye with my friends, and we'd all fight over who got the shitty controller, and it was me because I had sweaty hands, so no one else wanted to touch the shitty
Oh,
fucking
you're so
controller.
gross.
Yeah, they're
Man.
sweaty right now, baby.
Yeah, moist.
Just the right one for some reason, not the left one.
You should get like moisture absorber pads.
Yeah,
on both
I'm gonna
sides of your
get Bounty quicker picker upper pants.
Yeah, exactly. So you can always. I had one thought. Oh
Nope.
yeah, and then 2 years later, after like we got older, like the younger kids were having bar mitzvahs.
Yeah.
I went. I only did this like once, but I took tea and I rolled it into joints, and I brought it to the bar mitzvah, and I sold it to these little.
You out-Jewed every Jew.
Yeah, to all these little Jews.
At this Jew factory.
And watching them smoke tea, first of all, which is harsh as fuck and disgusting.
Not good for you.
And but none of them know how to.
They
inhale.
all have mesothelioma now. They can sue you fucking while they're watching Jeopardy. That commercial post.
No, they smoke green tea. I cured their, I don't know, God knows what. And so, and then they would smoke it, and then they would just all pretend to be high. They'll be like walking around, be like, I can't believe it, I'm so buzzed, and it was my favorite moment. One of my favorite moments was watching those kids pretend to be high.
Pretty good business sense you had there.
Yeah, for sure. And then I took that money and I bought my first heroin smack, and I was like, put it in my toes. Made me feel it.
Okay. So yours was the shitty bar mitzvah, is what you're saying?
My bar mitzvah didn't have any of that stuff. There was some dancing. There were some lights. The centerpieces. I remember they asked me, what do you want your theme to be? And I was like, I want it to be Disney, because I love Disney. And then I was like, wait a minute, that's super gay. And then I was like, okay, I want it to be the Montreal Canadiens.
Wow. Hockey.
And then I was like, could you like maybe make it like Disney and the Montreal Canadiens? And they're
just
like
Aladdin.
And they're like, I guess. And so like they just made it a bunch of Disney characters wearing Habs outfits, and that was like the theme.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's like just shows like how dumb I am, like how I can't have like a personality.
Yeah,
I can't make a decision.
Disney and a thing that everyone in the city likes.
Two things like are just like so typical. Nothing. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not going to find some deep cuts that I like that no one knows,
Yeah. I don't know, man. Oh, fuck. I like a Sopranos themed bar mitzvah.
That'd be so annoying too. If some little Jew, like nerdy Jew, is like, yeah, Sopranos, yeah, I love yeah.
I like Italian shit.
Yeah, give me some gabagool. And you're like, shut up.
First, 13-year-olds are the worst people to look at in the face. You know what I mean? Like they're they're hybrids. They're hybrid people. They're half child, half man, and they fucking suck. They just got the biggest heads and feet. That's what I'm talking about myself right now.
Well, for us, it was more like it's like your nose just grows overnight to like your adult sized nose, and then you spend the rest of your life maybe growing into it.
That's what happened with me and my feet. I had size 12 feet at like 13. I was 5'2".
Really?
And I still have size 12. Yeah. I grew into my feet. Just the biggest hands and feet and like head on a 5'2" body until I was
that's
like
good for
14.
balance, I guess. Did you walk on your knuckles?
Yeah, I was like the missing link. Dude.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was just way too hairy, way too young.
Gross.
Like,
just a
like,
fucking 5-foot hairball.
Yeah, why does he have so much hair?
It looked like something that you take out of a dryer vent.
Yeah, we've still never figured it out. It's still a mystery of the world.
What? Like you don't have family that's hairy?
I do. My father is,
okay.
but even my father one time we were driving, he's like, "Wow, you're hairy," and I was like, "Jesus, this is not good."
If your dad's calling you out on that shit.
Yeah, I think it's also because I'm more pale of the skin, so it just shows like a lot more grossly on my body.
Right. If you were
like a little while ago, I was like on Zoom talking to somebody, and I scratched my face. I'm like, "What's on my knuckle?" I'm like, "Oh, my hair. That's what I look like."
That sucks.
Cool.
Ba 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 ba.
Chill. Barba papa. Daddy's beard. Hey, Mom, can I get some of Daddy's beard?
Say, how do you know about that?
Give me some fresh Daddy's beard. I guess Santa Claus, eh? They just didn't want the Jews to be involved. They're like, make it so. I guess why is French so associated to Catholicism? That
I think it is. Yeah. I don't know where that translation is. Daddy's beard is Baba Papa is cotton candy American. Is it an American invention or is it British? It sounds British.
British?
Yeah, it sounds like something they would fucking like you brush your teeth and then you have your nightly cotton candy before you go to bed.
It is crazy how that shit just disappears in your face. Like you have it, you put it in your mouth, and then it's just gone. Like you don't chew it, it just disappears.
Yeah.
There's a great meme of a raccoon. Like
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, the raccoon like puts it in water because I don't know why raccoons are the dirtiest of the animals, but they clean their food first.
That's so funny. And
then they clean the cotton candy. And it's just the saddest raccoon.
Yeah, just that face is kind of amazing. Kind of how I feel about my potential.
Where'd it go?
Exactly. I had it. I swear to God, it was right
I tried
here.
to take care of it, and then it just went away.
I swear to God, I was in control. And then something. What song were you just singing?
As we go on, we remember.
That's like
So
a bar
we'll talk
mitzvah, because that's a graduation song,
yeah,
right?
by Vitamin C.
Man, that's all. I think
That came out when I was in 6th grade, I think.
See that came out right around when I was graduating. I think high school.
Your old bitch.
It's funny because I think that's the thing to do. Is I just hit this and it's gonna be so loud. I can't hear because we're not wearing headphones.
Yeah, we're not
today.
hearing. Yeah, no headphones today.
So
We're off leash, baby.
I just want to like a band that just makes music for holidays, like
for events.
I want a Halloween song, like a Halloween song. Will be used.
There was a mesh.
A
There was a
monster
monster
mash.
mash.
It was a smash.
I don't like the face you make when you sing that song. I don't like anything about what I just saw.
I just wanted to
You
do
look
that.
like a cartoon Jew. It's not good, dude.
It was a smash.
Oh, God.
I love that.
That's brutal. Turn off your fucking YouTube. Listen to us on audio only this week.
I want to do Halloween stuff. So, like, because I was watching like some Halloween movie, and it's like they need Halloween music in that movie. You know,
Right.
like I need 3 songs. So, like they don't have a few choices. So you make one song for Halloween. You make one song for Thanksgiving. You know, don't try to do Christmas. That's overdone. There's too many. Do one for Roy Shoshana. You know what I mean?
Sorry, who?
Roy Shoshana. Roy.
My buddy Roy Shoshana, yeah. I think it should be U2 because they fucking suck. And they have a New Year's Day song, and they have a Christmas song, and they're halfway there, baby.
Dude, U2 is the worst.
I
I'm
fucking
so
hate U2
sick
so
of
much.
them. I'm so sick of them.
Why are they still around?
They all should have died.
Why are they
in a plane
Irish Rolling
crash.
Stones where they can't die?
Oh my God, they're nowhere close to those Irish Rolling Stones.
Well, I'm
It's such
just
an
saying.
insult.
Well, it's not if you take what Ireland's done for us culturally, and you take what England has done for us culturally. When you look at like music and shit,
Fucking
it's
still
the
on
equivalent.
It's still on my phone. Their fucking songs. 'Cause
Yeah?
they like
You
fucking.
can't get rid of
I don't
it?
understand. You know, like how they talk about how Elon Musk wants to put that plant, like the chip in your head, and like that's gonna be a phone. Like imagine you just had U2 songs embedded in your
That's
fucking
what's gonna
skull.
That's why you don't want those fucking chips because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you just have music stuck in your head forever that you didn't even want.
It's skipping. You're
Yeah.
fucked. You're fucked. Is he having an aneurysm? No. That's just new U2's new hit song. That's fucked. It's stuck in his head.
I want nothing to do with it. Gross.
Are you turning it off the mic for some reason? Don't. Talking to it?
Hello.
You're fine. It's like we're
No,
the
you're
levels are
fine,
good.
Jason.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
goddamn fine.
Are we ending or no? Because we were talking. Like, are you gonna edit that part out where we started saying check us out on that other podcast that's coming out?
Oh no, you should check us out on that other
Okay,
podcast.
yeah. So Pantelis, who is the co-host of Two Drink Minimum with Mike Ward, Canadian comedy legend Mike Ward,
Yes.
has his own podcast called the Pantelis Podcast, and we appeared last week. Last week we did a 50-minute episode because we had to rush over to the Pantelis Podcast.
We had to get there.
Who, by the way, what a studio. That guy's put money. Jesus Christ, does it pay to have a successful podcast?
Man, it is nice. You should check out the video. You can see that kind of quality. We're gonna get there one day. You know,
One
with your
day, baby.
support. But you should check it out. You should also check out last week's episode if you didn't. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, last week's was great, man.
It's a good one. I enjoyed it.
listened to it. I never listened to our podcast for fun. And I listened to it and jacked off to my own voice.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I do it in slow mo just because it makes it sound more manly.
You play the podcast at half speed on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Because I just like the idea of us being, brooding men, and
What was that?
brooding.
Brooding.
They're brooding.
Well, hello, Oren. Yeah.
They're turning into broads. They're
Yeah.
brooding
Brooding
men.
men.
They're brooding men. Yeah, and it's fun. So check that out. Also, we were on the Art Loft one. I don't know if you checked that,
Art
but they're
Loft
on.
Radio. That was a fun one too.
Yeah, listen to those if you're looking for more of us because you can't get enough. But the good news is we're not going anywhere. Next week we'll be back.
Yeah, but we will be on Zoom next week because you're quarantining.
I'm quarantining, baby.
It's not going to change anything if you're watching this show because we're not going to do a fucking live Zoom or
Yeah,
whatever.
so don't worry about it. I bought this little thing and it massages my scrotum, and Jason has a control for it on his house. So when
we're turning into a Twitch fucking sex cam stream.
exactly. Yeah, so
Is that what we're moving towards as
yeah.
a comedic duo?
Don't forget to tip.
Yeah, click that button. Every time you click a button, there's like one of those those head scratchers that you put on your head and it kind of collapses over your head. It's like that, but it's reversed and it's inside Oren's asshole and it just stretches it out if you tip us 5 cents.
That sounds
That's
lovely.
all it takes, by the way, is 5 cents.
That's what we're looking for. Orion.
Everyone give us a nickel.
Just a reason to touch. That's all. But also subscribe and like and please vote for us.
Vote for us for America's Got Talent.
Yeah, vote for us.
We both murdered our parents, so that we have a sad enough story to be on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
I just share, tell your one friend about this podcast. We have our listeners are growing audio wise, but boy, would we like to see 1,000 of you guys.
I'd love it. And
we
also,
want to sell out stadiums when we take this on the road.
And please give us one good song with the word Jew in it, just to see if anyone's listening. I'm just curious to see if we get anything. We're not, but it'd be nice to see one.
Yeah.
One.
All right.
It'd be nice, right?
It would be nice.
We'd talk about it. We'd laugh.
We would laugh.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Friendship.